7-layer salad, and this is
chicken tenders with Italian seasoning.
and tapioca with Cool Whip, and chocolate cake with the cooked chocolate icing. Kitchen action is going to be going on today with multiple things, so I thought I'd bring you along with the busyness of the day. We'll leave links in the description box for the different items that we are putting together. We have a function at church tomorrow, and several of us ladies have offered to bring more than enough food for what we normally take so some others can have breaks. So that's what this is all about. And here is tapioca. I made it so it can be room temperature at this point, and I'll be putting Cool Whip to it and whipping it up. If you want your tapioca nice and fluffy, you don't have to put this much in, but the more you put in, the fluffier it gets. I'll start with this just to kind of get it started being worked up. This is a nice big heavy-duty wooden spoon. It came from Costa Rica. All right, we'll work this one in a little bit. This with that chocolate cake with the cooked chocolate icing is so, so yummy. And my dad loved it if we cut up pineapple in it yet too. Now to go for the church function, we will have it in a fix and mix bowl, and then what's left will probably fit in one of these Cool Whip containers. And just keep stirring till it's all stirred in. And one fluffy mess of tapioca. And here is a fix and mix bowl. And use a big spoon like this. And we can tuck this in the refrigerator, and it is ready to exit out of the house tomorrow. Okie dokie, just like that, we have some in a Cool Whip container and the fix and mix bowl full of tapioca ready to head out the door in the morning. The 7-layer lettuce salad. And we have to make the bacon first, so I'm just going to shove all this aside and get the bacon. We're going to make it in the oven, and then that has to cool down before we can actually assemble it. Since we want the bacon crumbled anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just cut it in pieces and bake it that way. I want to take this time to give all our new subscribers a hearty welcome to our channel. Not just our new subscribers, but all of you. And if this is your first time with us, we hope you enjoy it and consider subscribing. We also thank each one of you who have liked, commented, and shared our videos. That helps our channel to grow, and we appreciate it very much. Now, it won't take 2 packs of bacon for the salad, but we thought we'd go ahead and do 2 packs, and then we can have some in the refrigerator. The bacon is ready for the oven. The next thing on the agenda to make is a chocolate cake, so it is ready to go in the oven when the bacon comes out. And at this point, I'm going to cut my speakers off, and I'm just going to work. We do have videos for all the recipes we're making today, and we will link them in the description box below. On with the chocolate cake, we have Crisco, and I'm dumping sugar in the mixing bowl. We will give this a light mix, and then we will add the eggs one at a time, and then give everything a good scrape down and mix it until it's light and fluffy, which will take a couple of minutes. In the meantime, we will measure out our all-purpose flour. We like to have it sifted. We also sift our cocoa, which I'm measuring out there. And I like my cake more of a milk chocolate if that's possible, so I just don't add the full amount of cocoa. Go a scant measurement. I'm giving the buttermilk a shake, and then I'll measure that out. And I'll actually set the soda aside, and in that baking powder container is actually salt, not baking powder. And now it's time to measure out the vanilla and the salt. And then mix the flour and cocoa together, adding half of it to the batter, mixing it, and then adding buttermilk, mixing it, followed up by the rest of the flour and the rest of the buttermilk, which leaves for a stiff mixture. But we're not done. We'll pull the boiling water that I had heating on the stove. And then you put your soda to that, which will leave a fizzy sound, and slowly add that to your batter. There I'm mixing my pan with Crisco, and your batter is now a nice runny batter, and inside the bowl is never scraped clean because that's how Mom did. She knew I loved the cake batter just like that, and I still do it today. The bacon is coming out of the oven. And as you see, the chocolate cake is sitting there ready to go in. Cake is going in and will bake for 30 to 35 minutes until the toothpick comes out clean. I'm draining the grease off of the bacon and putting it on a paper towel. Makes it so nice to save that stovetop mess. Now we're saving the grease to be used in cooking otherwise. The chocolate cake is coming out of the oven, as you can see, and the best way to eat a warm chocolate cake is with a glass of milk, and that is so yummy. The chocolate cake is cooled and ready for icing. I dumped the sugar in the small kettle there, and I'm working on the cornstarch to join it. Now I pull the cocoa back in because the cocoa is also part of this cooked icing. And we'll give that a stir together, mixing it up. And we'll add the water to it. I started out with a spoon stirring it and then got a whisk and whisk it together real good, and then keep stirring it until it comes to a boil. Pull it off of the heat, adding butter or margarine and your vanilla. And you keep stirring that until the butter or margarine is melted, and then you pour it over your cake. And again, the aromas that come in the kitchen when you're working with food. Just spread it across the cake evenly. And then let the icing cool before you put the lid back on. We're ready to finish up the 7-layer salad. First comes the lettuce and the celery. And we like to use this chopper to keep everything the same size. Eggs will be next. Hard-boiled eggs, that is. And then the peas, this was frozen peas, and I put them out on paper towel so they could thaw and the dampness could go in the paper towel. And now just spread them evenly over the salad. Bell pepper will be next. In the chopper it goes, and in the chopper it comes out. And then the sweet onion. Same process, in the chopper and out of the chopper. And then the good old bacon, which adds so much to this salad. Just distribute it even across the top. And now we're ready for the dressing, which is mayonnaise and sugar. And you mix that together well and spread it even across the top of the bacon. Topped with shredded cheddar cheese, and we like to use the mild cheese. And here we have the 7-layer salad.
I am putting chicken tenders with an Italian seasoning mix to it. We'll be baking this. You'll want to have them in a single layer in a baking dish. You don't want them on top of each other. And then we put melted butter, drizzle that across the tops. And then we put the Italian dressing mix to it. You want 1 packet per pan is the ratio that I use. Then we cover everything with tin foil and have it in the oven on 350 for 1 hour. Chicken is out of the oven, taking the tin foil off, and watch the steam go. For the dish that we'll be taking to the church function, we don't want to take just a single layer, so I'm adding 2 for that one. And then we had also made extra so that we have to put in the freezer for ourselves. We did a video where we used the same idea for a one-dish meal with chicken strips, potatoes, and green beans, all in the same baking dish. So we'll let a link in the description box for that video if you're interested in a one-dish meal.
This is now Sunday morning. We're getting ready to go to church with our 7-layer salad. And this is
Chicken tenders with Italian seasoning.
and tapioca with Cool Whip and chocolate cake with the cooked chocolate icing. And I am going to church. Dorothy will be here with Buddy, but they will be watching live stream. Live stream makes it very, very nice. So we thank you for joining, and now we invite you to stay tuned for the Golden Thought. Howdy folks, we welcome you to the Golden Thought of this episode. We are the twins, Marvin and Martha. Marvin is our very special brother, and he's better known as Buddy. The Golden Thought for today. Our high and privileged calling is to do the will of God in the power of God for the glory of God. That's quite an awesome line up there, to do the will of God in the power of God for the glory of God. Whatever He has called us to do, He will give us the power to do it. And then in everything we do, it's to bring honor and glory to God. And like I said, that is quite a line up there. It is awesome and a great privilege to be a child of God. We thank you all for joining us today. We hope you've been blessed and inspired. And with that, we'll bring this to a close. Thank you and God bless.